As a person who comes from a family where the average number of cars per person is about 3.5, I know the value of having lots of cars. So today I'm going to be showing you the best fun coupes and convertibles for you to keep in your garage during the winter and enjoy the hell out of during the summer. So without further ado, let's get started. So first, let's start off with the Volvo C70. This is by far the best car on this list, and I'm going to tell you why. So many cars that you buy for the summer, like the Fieros, all those, and the Mitsubishis, they're all kind of like glass cars. You can't take them anywhere. You can't do anything with them. It's like you can't really, you wouldn't want to take it out. You really wouldn't want to drive your kids in it, or you really wouldn't want, you know what I mean? They're just fun. They're for having fun, and they can't really be used for much else. The Volvo C70 is different. This car is built like a tank, and it's so unique and so interesting, yet so weird. It's powered by a turbo i5, which is interesting. 5-cylinder engine. It's basically a V6, but also a 4-cylinder. It's interesting. It's an extremely fun car. These cars are so reliable. They're comfortable, they're luxurious, and the best part is Volvos never die, and they're extremely safe. So this car will still be, trucking on, years from now, and also you can take them places. You can go to the grocery store, put your groceries in the back, and this is a hard-top convertible. Now, this is an issue. This is the main, issue with this car. The engine, the powertrain, all of that is immaculate. The issue is it being a hardtop convertible. It has a lot of motors and mechanisms and stuff which raise the hardtop roof and then lower the hardtop roof. But if you can find one of those with a working mechanism, which again, I'm making it more of a problem than it is, that is not impossible. It's like finding a minivan with working sliding doors. The chances all of them should have that, but a few of them don't because they haven't been treated poorly. Another issue is the gaskets, but the good part is you can buy replacement gaskets. They do sell them, so it's kind of like a non-issue. If you maintain your car well enough, it shouldn't really be a problem. And I think hardtop convertibles, even though they're kind of a relic now, are the best type of convertibles because, number one, let's say you're driving and all of a sudden in Florida there's a tornado or hurricane that comes. Well, you have a sturdy roof, so if anything falls on the car, again, if a tree falls on your car or something happens or a branch falls or something, it's not going to scare the shit out of you while you're driving, and it just gives you better protection against weather. Like, you wouldn't want to have a rag top when it's pouring rain outside, because all that water is just going to soak in and ruin the interior. And also, let's say you do get caught in the rain, like you go on a Heinen's, you come out with your groceries, it's starting to trinkle a little bit, then you can just put the top up. You've got a hard top, you've got a fully hard-topped coupe sedan where you can drive around, where you can, actually drive it like a normal car, and you will be fine. It can start pouring rain, it can do whatever it wants, and it turns from a convertible to a perfectly, just perfect regular car, which I really appreciate about it. So if you want something fun that's also reliable, where you can also take it places, and it can't just be, just this weird fun car that we keep in the garage and never used, the C70, it's the most reliable on this list, I will say. One of the most reliable, because there's a lot of fanboys that are going to come at me for that. And I just like the look of it. Now on to what would be my second choice. Alright, another hardtop convertible, the Volkswagen EOS. Now, the EOS is essentially the same thing as the next car on this list, which is the, spoiler alert, the Volkswagen New Beetle convertible. I'm just going to say Beetle convertible, because that just sounds better, except this one is a hardtop, and the Beetle is a soft or rag top. The Volkswagen EOS, I like it for the same reasons as the C70. You can take it places. It's based on the Jetta. So it's essentially a Jetta convertible, which is just great. Also, there's several different, engine conversions, different engine versions, which are pretty great. It's pretty powerful. It's kind of a sports car. Like a lot of these convertibles, they're just novel because they're convertibles. This shares a lot of the sport trims with the Volkswagen Jetta. So if you're getting like a fancy Jetta for the summer, why not? Why not just get an EOS, get a convertible version? Now, you're not going to get that name recognition, but it's a very nice car. It's very well stylized. However, there is the, Achilles heel of this car, and that is the mechanism to open and close the hard top. Volvo's has stood the test of time, much better than Volkswagen's has. A lot of these about a 50% fail rate. The gaskets are harder to find, parts are harder to find, which is an issue with this, which is why I'd go with the Volvo, which is why it was first. But this is also, if you find one of these in great working order and you buy the gaskets ahead of time, or just, maintain it properly, which is really not that hard to do, especially if you have the means to do so, you'll be fine. I'm just a sucker for hardtop convertibles because it's not going to be summer forever. And, if you're what we do is we insure them during the summer, and then we just stop insuring them for the other 3 months, for the other 3 seasons, and then just do one oil change before we use it again, and then put it back on the road. But if you don't want to do that, and you need to actually use it as a car, these are by far the best choices you have. One other important reason why I like hard tops more than soft tops, and why these two specifically stand out among the pack, now there are of course a lot that are similar than this, I just like their boxy shape and their sedan front, is that they are front wheel drive. And unless you've driven rear wheel drive in snow, you know how useful that is. And that's the main selling point here. First of all, you have a hard top, so storms, rain, it's going to handle that much better. I think it looks cleaner, also burglary, and this is kind of a cliche thing, and no one really does this, it's like, technically, even if you have a security system, if people really wanted to break into their house, they could take the bricks off the wall and climb through. They could do that. If people really want to steal stuff from your car, they could take a knife out and cut a little hole in the rag top and jump through. They could do that, but they're likely not going to. But just because I'm kind of a paranoid person, I like having a hard top on my car, which would be a pain in the ass to remove and break into for a little bit of added security, If I'm leaving, like, a golf club or something, it's something nice. It's summer. You're going to be doing activities in the back of my car. I wouldn't want my golf clubs to get stolen since I just bought a nice new set, so I'd want a nice hard top to protect them if any burglar comes along and tries to steal them. Moving on. Alright, the Volkswagen Beetle convertible. This is an interesting one, and I kind of have mixed feelings on it. And first of all, the inline 5, very, very nice, 2014, that's the one that I would get, but a few issues here. First of all, this makes less power standard than the EOS does. Second of all, this is a rag top, or cloth top, or soft top, instead of the hard top EOS. It's still front wheel drive, it still has 4 seats. They're on the same platform. Now, I will admit, I think it is cuter, especially in the later versions and generations, and I personally prefer the interior a little bit more, but other than that, I would much rather have the EOS than a new, just for the reasons I stated before, sense of security, I should say, because it's not really a concern anymore. Safety. I just like the EOS more because it's a hard top, but this is also front wheel drive, and, but I really wouldn't want to use it in winter. Another thing, it doesn't keep the heat in as well, so that's another thing to consider. But if you want a fun summer car that you're only going to use in the summer, like what we do is, again, we just stop insuring it the 3 seasons and just let it sit. If you're going to treat it like that, then it doesn't matter. You might as well just leave the top down all the time. So unless you plan, if you plan on actually using it as a car, I'd get the first 2. But if it's just like a summer car, this is a great decision to make. It's also extremely fun, which is an added bonus, especially for a car that you're buying for the simple idea of just being fun. This next car is one that not a lot of people know about, but is very expensive and is kind of hard to find. Not very expensive, it's pretty much the same. They're both equally hard. I'll explain it. This is the Lexus IS 250C. C for convertible. This is also a hardtop, and if you are buying a car for the just use of having a car and you just want a Toyota Coupe, this is the one to get. It is a soft top. It has a V6. What it is a Toyota Camry Solara, but Lexus, which means it's got all the Camry fun stuff, but in a nicer, tighter Lexus form. Now, there is an issue here with this Lexus. There's a slight hitch in the road, and I'm also going to count this kind of as a Solara because they are exactly the same car. The Lexus IS 250C, which was the only version sold in the United States, the 300 and 350 weren't sold here. It was rear-wheel drive. If you want a front-wheel drive version of this car, you have to get the Camry Solara. But other than that, it's like if you want fun, if you want exotic, if you want something that people won't know what you have, if you want a purely summer car, get the Lexus IS convertible. But if you want a car, for easy like Sunday morning standard drives, definitely get the Toyota Camry Solara because that is front-wheel drive. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. And just an elegant beast. It's just I have dreams of this. This car is it's wonderful. Looks fantastic in candy apple red. It's just a wonderful car. Now, this next one is a car that I really like a lot and that my family has actually owned. I love this car. We had a gray one with those 5-spoke gray alloy wheels, and I thought this was about damn near the prettiest car on the planet. I love 2000s big, frumpy, dumpy Michelin Man styling, and this had that written all over it. The interior is great. It's front-wheel drive, except there's just some consideration here. It was sold in a Spider, which is a soft-top only convertible, and the regular Eclipse, which is the hard top. So either or, the stats don't really change that much. So yeah, overall, it's a great car. Front-wheel drive, which is nice. The only issue is parts. Mitsubishi, what one nice part is, that helps with the parts, because again, they had a lot of unique parts on it, which are kind of hard to find, so you're going to be rooting around junkyards. But the nice part is, this shares a lot of engines with the Mitsubishi Galant, which was a semi-popular car at the time. Again, not that popular, but at least it broadens your horizons as to engines and parts and manuals and stuff like that. So overall, I think it's a pretty good choice. Nowadays, I think it's going to be one of the cars on this list that has the hardest time getting parts, but I think it is definitely one of the most attractive cars on this list, and it's also like what I like about the C70 and the EOS is that they're pretty compact. You know, they're like a little boat. You know, if they're a boat, this is a yacht. It's very big, it's very drawn out, you sit very low. It's by far the most sports car-ish car on this list. Also, they can be found for very cheap, which is a gigantic bonus. So I think this should make more of a, like, you know, spring, summer, fall car. Front-wheel drive is okay, but I really wouldn't do it in the winter just because of the seating position. It just doesn't feel right to be driving a sports car in the winter, especially, like, I've grown up in Oregon and Ohio. You gotta put the kibosh on that. You just can't do that. So it feels kind of illegal, but I feel like this is one of the most true sports car convertibles that could live for most of the year, you know what I'm saying, with the front wheel drive. But again, soft top, I would personally get the non-Spider, just the regular, but it's up to you. Overall, very decent car. It's not that powerful or quick, but you know, that doesn't matter. I would definitely get the V6 though. Just, you know, I mean, why not? It's a fun car. Why not get the funnest version of the fun car? Moving on. The Mazda Miata and the next car on this list are literally the only reasons why I'm sure people are going to be watching this video, is to hear my opinions on them, because, like, in car culture, it's very rare that normal cars or affordable cars, like, get talked about. It's a lot of muscle cars and power cars, and this channel isn't really about that. You know, we're about consumer cars and boring stuff like that. So, and I think that's a good thing. I like the common quokka. I'm common yet uncommon, because a quokka is not common. That's the point. It's like an oxymoron. So, the Mazda Miata, I think, like, the Mazda Miata and the next car on this list, the 350Z convertible and 350Z, get so much attention from the car world, and I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. I'm going to give a smolderingly hot take and say that the NC Miata was the best Miata. Why? Now, hear me out. The NA Miata was great back in the day, and they're fun now to mod, but seriously, I wouldn't want to get in a car accident in that thing. And the pop-up up and down headlights are fun, except for the motor and that, and they just really didn't age that well. However, the NC Miata, it's fun, you know, it's a hard top, it's got 5 lug nuts, which is nice, and then the ND Miata was just, like, pleasing the audience, just like, oh, let's just crap out something to make them happy again. It was a good car. The only issue was it had 4 lug nuts, and I don't know, I can't jive with cars that have 4 lug nuts. I just can't stand it. I much prefer the NC Miata. I think it was the best. But overall, the Miata is a great example of a fun car. It's a fun front engine, rear-wheel drive. It's fun, it's interesting, it's nice, it's exciting, it's talked about a lot, but that doesn't mean it's not good. It is a good vehicle, and if you're looking for a fun summer small car, again, small car, less maintenance, just less stuff, this is absolutely the car for you. Also, the NA Miata was also a soft top, and I mean, seriously, it's hard to tell. Like, with the soft top, usually they get mildewy. Like, it's hard to prevent, and they don't age well with time, so that's an issue. But also, like, hard tops don't age well either. They have electrical issues. I will say, however, the hard top on the Mazda is, it's by far one of the, I would say the most, if not one of the most reliable mechanisms on this list, and you can still find parts with it because it shares many of its contractable, you know, hardtop convertible bits with the newest and latest Miata. So, that to be said, it's a very reliable car, and it's going to be, this is an important factor when you're buying cars this old, and I don't mean this old, I mean, like, you know, it's old and it's not getting any younger, is that being able to share parts and being able to have a community is valid, and it is a valid reason to buy a car, and it's a good reason. It's a car that's easy to keep alive for a long period of time for the foreseeable future. Not to say a very fun car. Alright, and now we've got a car that I love, but don't really like the car world's fascination with it. Is it a good car? Yes. Is it a fun car? Yes. Is it a very attractive car? Yes. Is it from a good manufacturer? Yes. Yes. It's a good platform. It's an excellent vehicle. You can find parts. It's great. The issue like this, the one thing that weirds me out is, like, I'm a car enthusiast, so I spend a lot of time in car enthusiast, like, this is gonna sound really weird, car enthusiast spaces, but people with a lot of car enthusiasts, and this seems like this, the 350Z, the Toyota BRZ, no, the Subaru BRZ and Toyota FRS and Scion and whatever, the Toyota GR86 or 86 and Mazda Miata are the three normal cars that they think exist. And, like, I don't mean that in, like, oh, they really don't know that any other cars like the Camry exist. I mean, like, to them, they're the only cars that's cool, and that kind of annoys me, because, like, I really do think the Volvo, and this is, again, a smolderingly hot take, I think I would have the Volvo over this car any day of the week and twice on Sunday. I mean, it's a good car. It's fast, it's nice, you'll be able to find parts for it, it's cool, it looks attractive, it's bulbous, it's sharp, it's a great car, it's fantastic, but I think the Volvo just does it better. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very nice car. You'll be able to find parts for a very long time. It's a good car, but I don't know. I've never been able to get along with it. I feel like I have fever. I've seen so many YouTube shorts and TikTok videos and YouTube videos about why the Miata and 350Z are the best cars alive and why car enthusiasts love them so much. It's like I have Miata 350Z fever. It's like I've seen them too much. I hate them now. I can't stand to be around them. You know what I mean? It's like the only thing that you hear about all the time is one of these two cars. And that's why I created this channel, you know, to disrupt it a little bit. So is it a good car? Yes. Do I really love it? Would I really buy one? No. Why? Well, because everyone already owns one. It's like, let's be different. Let's have fun. And having fun is the entire point of this video. You see, in my channel, I cover a lot of old, used cars. As my family would say, we have a lot of old, tired cars, as they would say. And I like to cover those because I think they're fun, and no one really talked about them when they were new, except for your, you know, people that, like, just background noise, like CNET. And that's not an insult. I'm just saying they didn't get a lot of coverage, and I think there are a lot of genuinely cool cars now. And, you know, a lot of people now, because of how expensive cars are turning to used cars. And, well, when you have $50,000 saved up, and a car that can do the exact same thing better for longer costs half that, you have some more free spending money, and you might want to do something actually fun with your life, and that's a big trend now, which really helps the channel, which I appreciate. So let's just do a roundup here to let you know, like, when you should buy what. If you're a fun person who really likes small things and doesn't have that much room, you should get the Miata. If you're a person who wants something to ogle at and look at and show your friends that no one's gonna know, that you're gonna feel upscale and luxurious, buy the Lexus. If you don't want to feel luxurious but just want a good car and also don't know anyone to know what you're driving, then you should get the Camry Solara. If you want a boxy, excellent, all-rounder, hard-top convertible, get the EOS. If you want a slightly more luxurious, all-rounded, boxy, hard-top convertible, get the Volvo. If you want fun, also get the Volvo. If you really want parts and you want to keep it alive for a long time, get the 350Z convertible. If you want a car that's big and sports car-like but is really soft and, you know, like, has a heart to it, get the Mitsubishi. And if you just want something fun, you don't have that much space, you don't really want to insure a car for that long, you want something newer on this list, then get the Volkswagen Beetle. So with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see us all real soon.